Hey team, this is Natalie with the coach's notes for Thursday. This is another primer, which is similar to Monday's primer, and obviously the option of going super hard, not necessarily caring too much about their maxes, just wanting a good workout, and then those who are really trying to prime for Friday's power cleans, maybe taking it a little bit easier and as a flush. If people came to Wednesday's classes, we're probably gonna have a lot of sore shoulders, triceps, pecs, stuff like that, depending on what they chose for their gymnastics. So your warm-up probably needs to be super shoulder, T-spine, arms, kind of getting those loose. Maybe, like nerve, flossing, things like that. Even like just some typical PVC pipe pass-throughs. Whatever your go-to shoulder warm-up is, maybe kind of open up with that so they can get them nice and fluid for everything that we have for them in class. Not a lot on the board today. The lift for the day is the grip, and we might have some sore hands from Wednesday, so take that into consideration. But here's what we've got. Part A, 7-minute AMRAP at 65% pace, 10 toes to bar, 15 or 10 calorie row, 15 and 15 lateral banded walks, 200-meter run. I'm gonna have my classes at least try to get 2 rounds. We've got time for that, and if they don't quite get it in the 7 minutes, I'm going to encourage them to finish out their 2 rounds so that they kind of get a good flush there in the warm-up. For 10 toes to bar, those of them that kind of have sore hands from Wednesday, we could change that to candlesticks. We could change that to maybe a hollow lat band pull down. Okay, you can even hook a PVC pipe for that, but they're still kind of working that hollow body position and their lats. Calorie row will be fine, and then banded walks, you can make these fun. Change it up each round and make sure they're all in good positions. I would kind of try to be a stickler on the lateral banded walks today and really talk about how our toes and knees need to be forward and that we're really trying to take that step without that knee kind of knee knocking and going in. So they need to be nice and deliberate steps. You could even have them try a harder band than they usually use. 200-meter run, obviously something like that for those of them that need to bike or something like that. We want to encourage some people to do some nasal breathing here today. A lot of times we just toss that out and we say, try some nasal breathing, and people don't really know what that means. During your warm-up, I would take 30 seconds, maybe even a minute, laying on the floor, or maybe even just during your warm-up, to actually make them nasal breathe before just tossing it out there. And really showing what that means, and it's not through the chest, right? This nice, tight, or not nice, but bad, tight airway, but really trying to expand our belly and rib cage. So I would really encourage you, if you have the time today, practice intentional nasal breathing before we just toss it out there. Those of them that can't really take it through the whole thing, I would try to encourage them to do it on the aerobic part of this, which would be the row and the run. And that'll also make it to where they're not going so fast because they're concentrating on that nasal breathing. They're only going as fast as they can while breathing like that. All right, part A. Okay, then part B, find your max effort 1-arm hang. Okay, that's going to be for our RX people who have that good lat and shoulder control. Otherwise, you're going to do a 2-arm hang. Notice that it's no grips, no gloves, and no straps. So it's just raw hands. Okay, if people are ripped or anything like that from Wednesday, maybe you can have them do some farmer's carries or something like that. Okay, so find their max effort 1-arm hang each arm, or scale would be 2-arm hang. If somebody's never done the 1-arm hang, they could even maybe try their 2-arm hang, and then if time allows, they could try their 1-arm hang. We're looking for that thumb around the bar, okay, and that good lat engagement. You can talk about how if people are starting to twist on that 1-arm hang, how we're really trying to keep that lat locked in, and maybe they have a discrepancy between their right and left hands. Part C, we're taking the lateral banded walks from A out. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit quicker transitions and less time like a bottleneck movements where they're slowing down. 10 toes to bar, 15 or 10 calorie row, 200-meter run, and you're just telling them to kind of go for it. Those that are looking to max, maybe they take it a little bit easier. They can continue to nasal breathe. Those of them that aren't looking as forward to the power cleans or don't expect to go as heavy, just tell them to go full send and see what they get. Okay, and then part D, 20 seconds of max effort assault bike calories. I would try to give them some good rest between part C and D so that is actually a true max effort assault bike. You don't want to finish that 7-minute AMRAP and then 2 minutes later hit the bike. They're not going to get the power that they need from that. So plan accordingly. You know, maybe 3 to 5 minutes rest would be better, and then they could go in heats and really kind of cheer each other on. If you look at the board, there's really only about 20 minutes of work, and we typically have 60 minutes of classes. So be intentional about your warm-up, okay? Kind of try to work out some soreness from Wednesday that they might have in their shoulders, triceps, whatever, okay? So working that T-spine, shoulder stuff. We can do some dynamic work and getting prepared for the run. And then really practicing some good intentional nasal breathing. Have fun and get your people hyped up.